Good vodka. We're gonna talk about vodka. Vodka, caca.
Vodka.
Vodka. До свидания. So welcome to part 2 of Misconceptions. Immaculate conceptions of, what if Joseph got it? If Joseph was the one who got pregnant, it would have been like, no one would have questioned the Immaculate Conception thing. But since Mary got pregnant, everyone's like, oh, you're not a good wife. But if Joseph got pregnant,
He doesn't have anywhere to have the baby inside of him.
well, it's God. He can make a square a triangle. He can make a starfish a hole, right? Okay, I'm Christian, so I can say these things.
You don't get a free pass.
Me and the J-Man, we got our thing going. He's like, I got you, bro. Fist bump. That's why Adam is doing that thing with God. They weren't gonna touch fingers, they were gonna do this. Weren't they? She's even listening. All right, guys, welcome to the show. We're gonna talk about 3 misconceptions of an ENFP. I'm Stevie. This is Herbert. Herbert Humphrey Jackal. I hit my balls today with a ball. Oh wow, I hit my balls with a basketball, so I hit my balls with a ball. I hit my rocks
Your basketball
with a rock.
Basketball?
Yeah. Yes, it looks like a naked mole rat. It was so stretchy.
Okay.
No, but they call a basketball a rock. I hit my rocks with a rock. Seriously, it is hurting though. Okay, so welcome to the...
Yeah.
Dang.
That's it for
Blessing-
things you're gonna need to know.
Blessing and a curse. Blessing and a curse. I gotta
Okay.
tell you. You know those bouncing balls as a kid? You grab the hoppity hops?
Uh-huh.
I didn't need one.
Oh my god.
I can't have babies.
Stop! You can't do that.
Okay, misconceptions. Misconceptions. We're gonna do this right now.
Oh, he's so
This is my
tired.
baby.
You scared him.
I gave birth to this raccoon.
I gave birth.
We both did. Double conceived. So you almost snorted on camera.
So weird.
Remember to hit that subscribe button, join the family, and comment down below if you've met an ENFP, INTJ, or if you've actually seen one of these misconceptions. So let's go. Hey guys, welcome to my ENFP-ness. I am joined by my lovely cat, Roswell. His name's We'll have to do a video on Roswell and how we got him, because we didn't decide to. He
happened to us.
He chose to come in, which literally he let himself in. And now he knows. Anyway, we'll talk about this. He can open doors, and I have proof. I have proof. We're gonna give you some misconceptions. It's already been 4 minutes, and we haven't discussed a single thing. Lisa, why don't you go first so we can actually start?
Okay, so I'll start with misconception that INTJs do not have a sense of humor.
It was right there at the beginning.
Yeah,
It was all me.
It goes back to the whole INTJ's a robot thing. It's a funny stereotype. Yes, I do joke around that, oh, I'm a robot, beep,
Yeah.
beep, beep. But INTJs definitely have a dark sense of humor. Definitely.
That is a huge thing for our compatibility. I can't even tell you, seriously, like, we want to try to make this a little bit family friendly. I mean, I know I talked about my balls, but like the jokes we said on the first date was a huge reason why I didn't have a lot of girlfriends, because they just couldn't handle it. It's really dark. Oh, it is dark. It's really dark. Like dark.
Okay.
It is.
Well, it's not like
usually me, but you won't.
not bad.
You won't
It's
get
just-
mad at me for it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it goes too far.
Well, and I think INTJs, because they aren't so strong feeling, they can joke about the dark things without it really bothering them or affecting them or them taking it to heart. They can just kind of let it be what it is and not be upset. Sometimes it's like you'll say a joke is kind of dark and then you're like, oh, I feel kind of bad about that one. That's not really a problem for INTJs, I feel like, because it's not like, I don't know how to describe it beyond that. It's just you don't take it to heart. You don't let it really affect you emotionally. You just let it be a funny joke because that's what it is.
Dark jokes also cause a little bit more emotion. Like regular jokes, like I love puns. Puns are my favorite form of jokes. But dark jokes are really, they definitely cause a little bit more emotion and they stimulate me a little bit more. But I will say, when we say dark jokes, I draw a huge line with 9/11 jokes. I hate those. To me, it's very disrespectful. And I don't like mentally challenged people. I mean, I don't like making fun of them. I cannot stand it. I remember as a kid, I was crying because I saw a mentally challenged kid getting picked on in Las Vegas, and I was crying because I didn't have the courage to go and say something, which was a big reason why I started martial arts, which I did for 12 years.
Problem.
Oh, I can't stand it. Oh, I will immediately jump in. I'm getting friggin' hot talking about it. I hate bullying. I hate it. Because I think we were both bullied.
Yeah.
So I was bullied by a black belt, and it was horrible. So
you're okay. Just take a deep
that's
breath.
That's that F, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what that is.
I love you. I'm jealous. Let's break up. Squirrel. Go ahead. I'm Beauregarding your. I'm stealing your thunder. I'm sorry.
Beauregarding. No, that's pretty much it. It's that INTJs can joke around. They can laugh with their friends.
You have to earn it though.
Yeah.
You have to earn it.
That's true. That's
yeah.
Good. You have to earn it.
Because when we started when we went on that first date, it took a little bit, but not long. And then you started the dark jokes, and I can't even say on camera what you showed me. Maybe we'll have to do an after dark episode and make sure like it's 18 plus or something.
So yeah.
That was good. I'm sorry, just the dark joke stuff. Also with ENFPs, the dark jokes, we can make a morbid situation a little bit better by making it a little bit more funny. And it sounds wrong, it sounds bad.
It's a coping mechanism.
But we do it for other people too.
Yeah.
And it's weird how it works. We just know how to do it if you're mature and you understand your type.
Laughter is the best medicine.
Mm-hmm. My brother can go a little far with it, but I like it. He's an ESTJ, so he's Dwight Schrute. God, he's so like Dwight Schrute.
Yeah, he is.
We got to get him on here.
Gotta get him on here.
And Valerie is like 100% ENFJ, like
painfully so.
Oh, it's amazing. Her caring, right?
God,
my mom's an ENFJ too.
No, she's something else.
Is she not?
Yeah, your grandma's an ENFJ.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yep.
This is a big misconception for ENFPs. Probably there's two main ones, which we already talked about, which is being stupid. That's probably the main one, which is not true.
Don't get me started.
For a lot of people. Any type can be stupid, but ENFPs, since they're jokers, I think I said blackout, je suis un blackout, which means like I'm a jokester. Yeah, is that really a word?
Mm-hmm.
What is that word?
Braggart. It means the same thing.
Like a funny guy?
Yeah.
Came from the French.
I'm double checking that because I can't stand not knowing.
I love this.
Person who boasts about achievements or possessions. Okay, maybe not.
Yeah. It sounds close though. I wonder if it's still STEM. We should get the Oxford Dictionary out. Which, by the way, I love the Oxford Dictionary.
Okay, focus.
Because it tells you about the words from where they came from. Okay.
Okay.
The second thing, if I speak French, I can't speak English. La deuxième thing, the second thing, is we're not as social as people think. This is huge.
Yeah.
ENFPs are the most introverted extroverts out there. Meaning, I don't want to commence the talking. Usually, I don't. I don't want to. I was so deathly afraid when I got my business degree. For some reason, I kept getting stuck in freaking speech classes. Also, people thought I was extroverted. Oh, ENFP over here, the loud, funny one, he needs to go do the pitches. So we would have a product and we'd have to go do a pitch. I could not stand it. I was so scared, but when I got up there, did a phenomenal job. But it's that energy, that rush. But before that, I'm so scared. And so I took 4 speech classes. I hated each one. I never had fun. I mean, I like the impromptus, but they always got weird and almost they got sexual and bloody, and it's just weird.
Just like these do?
Yeah. I like sexual. Okay. Where was I?
You're the most introverted extrovert.
Yes.
And so you are not always wanting to be social.
Yeah. For example, I don't want to say this too loud, but our neighbor, like, if I see him outside, I will hide. So, because I don't want to talk to him. Even though I like him a lot, I don't want to talk. I'm not in the mood. I'm usually not in the mood. I want to go do my own thing. I want to go learn something. But if you're talking to me, like we do start up a conversation, I am given energy from it. And I want to talk then, but I don't want to commence it. Mm-hmm. And even sometimes, if they're not stimulating me, I will figure a way out. I will. I can't stand it. So we are very unsocial. And I've put like on my exam for the ENFPs, I always think I'm gonna get introverted. No, it always gives me ENFP. And one big question that they ask, oh, at a party, where are you? Where are you? You're in the middle talking to everyone. No, I'm in the corner. I'm literally in the corner with like 2 people.
That's how you meet INTJs.
Yeah, seriously. That's usually where the most fun is. And I know I'm talking a lot about this, but it's important. It's a huge misconception. You said something in our last video about you needing a small group of friends.
Yes.
The same could not be more true for an ENFP. And there's a big reason for that. One, ENFPs like to be the one talking. Small groups allow better for that. Somewhat, people they're close to. And of course they understand balance and letting other people talk. But if there's so many people, the ENFP cannot concentrate. And that means if there's so many people talking, it's a lot of small talk because you can't get deep into a conversation with a lot of people. And that's why I don't like big dinners and stuff. But on cruise ships, you're set with like 2 different families. That's okay. I like to, anyway, I don't like talking. One of my worst fears is public speaking, even though I'm extremely good at it. I'm extremely good at it. I can't stand it, which is weird. I think that's gonna weird a lot of people out. And I just by meeting Lisa, I started to finally tell people, no, I don't like it. I don't like saying prayer at Thanksgiving. I get embarrassed. I don't like doing it. I get shy. And I'm a shy person. Unless you get to know me. And then by the end of the year, you will probably have seen one of my testicles. It is serious. All my friends have seen it.
Okay.
Like I only have one. Marbles.
Okay. That's good.
Why am I thinking about Cracker Jacks?
Okay, so I'm gonna keep
I'm
here.
sorry. Oh, she said ball. She said it. Go ahead.
We're doing 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We're on 1. 14 minutes. Oh my God.
A good one for INTJs, a misconception is that they're all book smarts, but they don't have street smarts or kind of social intelligence.
Yeah.
And for me personally, everybody's different. Everybody has different levels of what they know and, social intelligence or street smarts or what have you. I feel like INTJs, it's not that they don't have the smarts or that they can't be street smart. It's that usually, as far as social interactions go, I'm trying to think of how to explain this. It's that what, and this is particularly as a female INTJ, this is a big one for female INTJs, is the expectation of how you're supposed to behave in a social situation, of what you expect of a female versus a male even, and not even INTJ, but INTJs are so much more reserved, is what I'll say. It's not that I don't know what's expected of me, or I don't know what people are anticipating when they don't know me, the anticipation of what they expect and how they think I'm going to behave based on me being a female. But me being an INTJ female, I'm so far the opposite of that initial expectation. I know what they're expecting. It's not that I don't know. I just don't really care to change my behavior to make them feel comfortable. Mm-hmm. Because they can either learn to accept me and listen to me as I am as an INTJ, as a person, or they cannot. But that might be where the lack of social intelligence comes from. And it's something that maybe you've observed me in situations also and can say something about that, but
I could talk about your street smarts.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting. So we're gonna talk about tips and tricks in another video because ENFPs are extremely naive. We can be very naive and not street smart at all. So I was very lucky to spend a lot of time in Los Angeles as a kid or as a teenager, and that made me very street smart. And I wouldn't have gotten that if I didn't live in LA on Hollywood Boulevard. Mm-hmm. So Lisa is very street smart, and she often makes fun of me for not being street smart because I'll often say, "Oh, I'm from LA." Los Angeles. But Lisa is very street smart, and it makes me feel very comfortable with Lisa walking around by herself. She carries pepper spray. She knows how to throw a punch.
And even,
and how to disengage.
It's almost like whatever situation an INTJ finds himself in, an INTJ, the way their mind works, it's just, you can't even help it. You are analyzing, you're observing, and you're finding the patterns, and you're finding how wherever you are, how that environment works and kind of piecing all of it together. So
something I was very impressed about that you did was with feeling, with thinking, and with your thinking ability and your street smarts, whenever you're in a confrontation, you can pull yourself out of it and make intelligent decisions. So that time that guy yelled at you and cussed you out, I was very impressed that Lisa didn't say anything and just kept walking. I would have probably went to jail that night. So, and it's no joke, I get protective and aggressive and I let my feelings get over me, and it would take Lisa to pull me away. And it's also would be very irresponsible of me because I have 12 years of martial arts, and that has given me this l'air du confident, confidence. So I'm so glad I wasn't there.
And the way I approached it is, this jerk is just a jerk.
I'm getting angry just
It's not worth my time. He's not gonna change. Do I wanna fight him? No. So why waste the energy on this? I am just gonna walk away. And did I go home and vent to Stevie about it? Yes, but...
You didn't even vent that much. I was
But
fuming
it's almost
for days.
like, maybe this isn't the right exact comparison, but like the Terminator, when they key in on somebody and they have, all their stats come up about it, it's just like, that's what I do. I see the situation and I analyze it in my mind and I'm saying, am I in serious danger? No, I'm not gonna escalate this beyond what it needs to be. But basically any situation an INTJ is in, they are going to be analyzing it and trying to make it the most smoothly operating situation they can.
Terminator is good because he also pauses in order to make sure the target is verified. Was that only one?
That was just one.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna be quick.
Okay.
Ish. That we all have ADHD. So ENFPs have a lot of qualities that can be like ADHD, but not all ENFPs have ADHD. But I do believe that they have a tendency to fall into that category. But just because someone has a lot of ideas that they want to tell you quickly, some people just have, an ADHD person just can't stop. It's very, very difficult. With an ENFP, I feel like a lot of them can hold it back. If they're not, hyperactive, they don't shift. Like, I'm always biting my fingers or moving my leg. When I speak to someone, I have to play with my deck of cards because I can't concentrate without doing something. So not all ENFPs have ADHD. And a big thing is when you're with an ENFP and you realize that, oh wow, this guy's a lot, they have so many thoughts, they're energetic, that doesn't always mean they're ADHD. It just means they're a good person with a lot of energy, and that's amazing. ADHD can be a blessing and a curse because, as you can see in these videos, often I forget completely where I was, and I don't care. I will just sit there and try to think of it, and I need help. I shake my leg, that's that hyperactive. I've been diagnosed by 2 doctors that I have ADHD, and I took a test, and I got chronic ADHD diagnosis. And what they did was, they put me in front of a computer and made me freaking click a button every time I saw something, and they had me in there 20 minutes doing that. There was a psychologist on the other side watching me through a webcam, and apparently I was spinning in the chair and I had the mouse on my head clicking, using it as a mouse pad. And also when you see my chart, it's like a shotgun blast of dots. It's not just as it should be.
And I think the big differentiation there is ADHD, the reason it's a diagnosis or disorder is the second D, is that it's something that disrupts your life. And so that's kind of the difference, where ENFPs can have those traits, but maybe it doesn't disrupt their life.
The procrastination.
And that's where the difference is. And so yes, they have those traits, but it's not as intense, or whatever is the difference, that they function better with it. But that's why it kind of has that stereotype.
I'm so glad you brought up, what's it called? What was he saying?
ADHD.
I'm not just being cute. Oh yeah. No, prescription, paralysis, procrastination. Sorry.
Yeah.
Parasite. Procrastination. So I have this thing that I procrastinate when I procrastinate. And it's this really amazing way that if I don't want to do something, like there's often times, so I write 2,000 words a day in my novels every day, not on the weekends. But I value it so much that I get scared and I get analysis paralysis, and I will procrastinate. I'll do everything and tell myself, oh, this is important, but I will procrastinate about procrastinating. So if I'm like, I'll just watch one more YouTube video, but before that, I'm gonna go change the laundry out. So I procrastinate to procrastinate. So anyway, that's a huge ADHD thing. ENFPs struggle from procrastination, but I can procrastinate about things I enjoy.
Yeah.
And that's insane.
Okay, one more each, right?
Yes.
Okay, so...
Take your time, no rush. This is for us, right?
Yeah. I think my last one would be touching on INTJs stereotype they're not good in romantic relationships, or that they can't be in one successfully or hold on to it. This is something that I think it's just people who aren't INTJs think, but maybe some INTJs out there think this is them. And really it's all about learning what your strengths as an INTJ are, and also knowing your weaknesses and working on them. And so one of those is the feeling is non-dominant, right? So obviously a romantic relationship feeling, pretty big part of a romantic relationship.
I gotta say, like, you feel a lot, and I like it when, well, you want me to stop? I don't have to say
That's fine,
okay.
You can.
Like, Lisa she has a lot of emotions, but I wouldn't say they're repressed. They're just maturely broken down, and she lets herself feel it in different ways that aren't going to disrupt other people, maybe. But when something really hits her, the tears that come out, mine flow. I just cry. I'm embarrassed, I'll turn away, but I will just let it out. Lisa does like half angry cry, like she's mad at herself for crying. And I'm just like, the best thing, when it's an INTJ and they start crying, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to steal your thing.
Please.
Before I forget, 'cause I will forget. When Lisa does that, you might think, if you're a feeler, I'm sorry, it'll be okay. Wrong. You confront them about it and you ask them about it. So if they're upset about something, like let's say their boss made them mad, you keep asking them about it and you keep talking to them about it and you make them talk about it. That's what I do.
Yeah, and I think it's because INTJs, they want to work through that and understand. For me, I want to understand why I'm feeling that way. I don't just want to be kind of ruled by my emotions and being, on this turbulent sea of emotions, and I don't feel like I have any control over it, or I'm just kind of whatever I'm feeling at that moment. I'm just feeling that way and whatever. I can't stop it, or I can't understand it. It's as an INTJ, I want to understand everything, and that includes my emotions. And most of the time I know why I'm feeling a certain way. And in relationships, that's something that you just have to learn to do. It's that you do have emotions. You can care about people, obviously. INTJs have people they love. And
so I make good psychologists.
Yeah, and it's learning to, particularly, INTJ with an ENFP. Very strong feeler, not a strong feeler. And I think we both kind of work together on this, but my half of it is I have to learn to be more expressive with my emotions. And my initial tendency is I have an emotional reaction and I want to kind of shut it down and analyze it and not let it out, I guess. It's like I want to keep it in and understand it because I don't want to just have this emotional throw up on people. But you do have to share those things with your partner and express those things with them, because if your partner doesn't know what you're feeling or understand what's going on with you, it's not going to work out so great, because they're either not going to understand how you feel about them, or they're gonna think you are a robot, the main misconception, I guess, about INTJs. And so it's all about, yes, you are thinking dominant, but you do have feelings, and that is something that you work on and you grow on. And INTJs, like I said, once they choose a person and, it's like, this is my person and I care about them and I love them, it's like you really care about them and love them, and you can learn to express that to them. You're going to have your own ways. It's not going to be the same, as somebody who's feeling dominant, and it may not be as outright, but for me, I try to find small ways to show Stevie that I love him, and a lot of it is doing things for him. That's how INTJs, I think one of the questions that I see a lot on tests is, when somebody has a problem, do you try to, sit there and, help them understand their feelings and, just kind of commiserate with them or whatever it is? Or do you try and say, well, what's the problem? Let's solve it. And INTJs, they say, what's the problem? Let's solve it. Because then you won't feel bad anymore.
Which works perfectly for me as an ENFP, because acts of service is the way I appreciate like I see people loving me if they do acts of service for me, because those acts of service push me more into the goal that I'm doing. And it could be as small as making me coffee while I'm working. That's huge for me. I don't need to be consoled. I don't need to be told I love you all the time. It's just the acts of service.
Yeah.
Which you would think would be weird for an ENFP.
But yeah, INTJs that I think like to have action, they don't like to do things just for the hell of it. They like to do things that have a purpose and a result to them. And so you can do these things for your partner that have a result of, oh, I made their day easier doing this. But it also is, if you're an INTJ, there are just certain things about the way you are that you have to find somebody who respects that and accepts that. And they have to understand, you're not going to be super emotionally expressive. Yeah, it's like, I'm not going to be this.
Some feeler types need that.
I'm not going to perform my emotions for you.
My brother's girlfriend, an ENFJ, she needs that emotional validation, which is perfectly fine. It's a different form, but in INTJ, I don't think most of them, they can't do that, which works perfect for an ENFP because I don't need it.
Yeah, so you just have to also find what's right for you and lets you be yourself, and and also always it is work. For an INTJ to be in a relationship, you do have to actively work on expressing yourself and your feelings, but it makes it worth it and you can do it.
The reason why we know so much about this is because one of mine and Lisa's favorite things to do is just to analyze personalities and people watch and just give them stories, and we're usually pretty right. Like, we were at a Mexican restaurant, we saw this guy talking to girls, I'm like, flirting. It's like, yep. Lisa had the analytical, like, this is what he's doing, that's flirting me, and I just felt it. I could just see it. But an immature side about the romantic side of an INTJ is I feel like you guys try to get, like, when a younger Lisa will try, I'm scared now. They will get a project person because it allows them to have power over that person.
Yeah.
Which is a bad thing. It's just not chronic, it's a poisonous relationship. It's a toxic relationship. And for me, I jumped from girl to girl. I just like to chase, not to have sex with them. That was my least goal. I just wanted to meet new people, talk to them for a couple months, then go find someone else. And I had a problem with breaking up with people. I just wouldn't do it because I was immature and didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. So it wasn't sex driven, it was just the chase.
Yeah, and INTJs do like to be right.
Yeah, but you're not a know-it-all.
Right, and so that's why, you have to understand, you are not always right. Nobody wants to be in a relationship with somebody who thinks they're always right and never listens to what you say or apologizes or,
oh, it's horrible.
Point. So.
I know.
You can, yeah.
I was with someone like
I was like, why are you whispering?
So, I think this person was like a INFJ or something, but it was just horrible. I would say almost abuse mentally. It was so bad. And that's why with Lisa, it was like a car hitting a wall because I was finally able to be myself 100%. And I didn't know what to do with it. And then I realized I was ADHD and it was just a tornado of feelings. And Lisa stuck with me the whole time. She organized my life. I used to complain about organization every single day, enough to the point where I was tearing up. I just could not get organized. Lisa got that all taken care of. And it's been amazing. But yeah, it was a horrible experience. Learning experience. Want to go on to mine real quick?
Yes.
So this one's pretty quick. A third misconception about ENFPs is, irresponsibility. Not only is this not true for a lot of ENFPs, like there's that ENFP guy who does a lot of like helping people become a better ENFP. I think he's a redhead, so.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Who's that guy? He's a handsome guy. I love his back. Like sometimes I'm not even listening to him because I like his shirt and I like the pictures in the background. I'm like, focus on what he's saying, Stevie. Yeah, find him. I want to shout out that man. But he's very responsible. He
dreams around the world.
Dreams around the world. Yeah, that.
Yep.
I like his beard. He's got a nice beard.
Okay.
I want to rub my beard. I've rubbed my beard against another beard. Anyway, Santa. He was in my bed, and what was I saying? Irresponsibility. I have the opposite. I'm too responsible. Overly responsible. In fact, the guilt that I feel if I do something incorrect, or if I have made someone upset, or if I have missed a bill or a credit card thing, it ruins my day. I've never done really anything fun or exciting or something that I wish. A big misconception is that ENFPs will just throw a dart at a at a map and just go. And that's not true for all of us. I can't stand that. I like routine. Routine keeps me sane because I change everything up so much. A decent routine that I can kind of bend. So it's like a stock resistance line. It's like I just go around it. I'm volatile, but I always come back to that center. It's a good, oh wow, it was good. That was good. But yeah, I go like this, but I have that routine. That routine is completely shattered if I travel across the world and just sell all my stuff. I just don't do that. I'm so responsible that I've been with Lisa for 2.5 years. That I've wanted a muscle car. I've wanted to buy a muscle car since I was 8 years old, and I was saving up money since I was 8. I cannot bring myself to do it. It's not an investment, as people say. It's a horrible decision, but I really want one, and I want it young. I don't want to have it when I'm have kids. I just can't pull the trigger. I can't do it, and I'm struggling with that. Not only that is the guilt that follows it. Like, that money could have went to a house, could have went to an index fund, like our index funds, could have went to a lot of things. But that Dodge Demon, that Plymouth Duster, that Plymouth Barracuda, like, I'm just gonna have to pull the trigger one day. But I'm so responsible, it's a problem.
Yeah, I think people see kind of a chaoticness to an ENFP, and that's how they associate it with, like, oh, how can you be held responsible for anything when you seem so chaotic? But it's when they're ENFPs and their values, oh God, it's like all they care about.
Yeah.
In a good way. And so, they, at least mature ENFPs, are going to place value on their word, I feel like, and holding up what they're accountable for.
Scared me.
And so
it's the white whale.
They will make sure they get done the important things that they're responsible for.
What a great observation. The chaoticness is misconstrued as irresponsibility. I was an all A student in school until French 2, which was online. It was a 4.984. So 1.01 that the teacher could just give me that 0.01 to give me an A so I could keep my 4.0 so I could move to a good school. And she didn't give it to me. 0.01. So I got a B+. And I cried. Next time I cried was I got a 42 on a calculus test. I ended up getting an A in that class. And then I got to economics and finance and got a B. And I cried over finance, but I did not like economics, so I didn't care. What were we talking about? Oh, irresponsibility. Very responsible. I mean, I'm very responsible to the point where I feel a lot of guilt. Real quick, this has nothing to do with irresponsibility, but you were saying that we have our values. One thing I want to point out is an immature ENFP, goes with all types, that if you do something wrong and you're not following your type, what you're doing is you're being a victim. And one of our favorite bands is called Mother Mother. And the lead singer was an addict with pills and alcohol, which I was an addict of pills and alcohol, like real bad. Lisa helped out so much. But we're gonna talk about addiction later on. The lead singer said there's just as much enjoyment in success and as well as sadness, depression. So you can feel a false sense of happiness from being the victim, because you're like, nothing's working, I might as well just stay in this pity party, and people do. So that girl that I went on a date with, that ENFP, she didn't have those values, and so she was acting out by just being promiscuous. She was filling holes. So that, one day she will get better, but I wasn't gonna fill that hole. You know that scene in The Mummy where they stick their hand in that hole and they turn it and he brings it out and it's like melted skin.
Oh yeah.
That would have been my schlong. Did you know schlong is German for snake? Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. Also, the German language has a neutral pronoun. So they have male, female, and neutral. I think it's so freaking. This is so cool. German's on my list. By the way, I forgot to tell you guys last time. My French, I don't know anybody that's French. I don't have any French parents. I'm not even French blood. I'm English, and Irish. So I taught French myself, so that goes with the stupidity thing. 40 minutes into it, wow. So yeah.
I think that's it, right?
So responsible that I have so much guilt, and the guilt plagues me a lot. And that will always be something I struggle with.
You're also Catholic, so.
I'm also, well, my grandma's gonna say, I'm not Catholic anymore. After researching stuff, there's nothing wrong with Catholicism. I think it's great, or some people need organized religion. I could not sit in front of an old man and tell him that I wanked it. I just couldn't do it. Like, and if you know a sin and you don't tell it to him, your whole confession doesn't work. And then you gotta go say 10 Hail Marys. I would have to read it because I would forget it. I didn't do well in Catholic school, but I am a Christian, which I used to have a problem saying. Oh,
not anymore.
No, I bother people. No, I go to door to door. Have you heard about Jesus Christ? Okay. F you too. I'm coming in. I'm coming.
Okay.
Let me in.
I think that's where we can wrap it up for today.
I was super. I'll be throwing cross stroking.
But you gotta say what you want to say so we can end it with this.
Oh,
we got a surprise.
I should have said this earlier, but yeah, if you've made it this far, thank you very much. I'm glad you found this interesting. Everyone else who clicked off, they're stupid owls.
No, they're not.
They're dumb booty hole faces.
They're probably got ADHD and went to 20 other videos.
Yeah, that's why I have 3 monitors, so I can have multiple tabs open. That's anyway. Guys, thank you so much. Please hit that like button if you really want to help us out. You will subscribe. You will subscribe. We should do that. That should be the thing. And have a sexual relationship with that like button. And comment down below if you've experienced any of these misconceptions, no matter what type you are, as well as have you met an ENFP or INTJ who suffered from these problems. I'd be very interested to know. And as Lisa said last video, if you have any suggestions for videos, feel free to send it our way. All right, guys. Thank you very much. We love you guys. Thank you for the growth. That's what she said. Anyway, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Got it? Oh.
What?
Got it?
Oh, the baby.
Good night from the baby. We have a baby.
Good night. Good night. That's a wholesome.